Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane, and I'm going out tonight for a Halloween event, but I still wanted to know what the heck was going on with the Mica Miller case. We are back on Robbie Harveys' channel today. We're going to take a look at his latest videos covering this case, which was still about a month ago. One is called Mica Miller, the Good Doctor, and the other one is called Where Was John Paul Miller? So there's another one that says Mica Miller's Final Hours, but we're gonna save that one for my next video to react to because I am a little bit on a time crunch today, and see if we can't catch up a little bit on what we've missed. Again, I need to chop up any copyright music, but I will react to what I can. So the first thing he's talking about is actually recapping the video I just said I want to save for our next time. So we're gonna get, I guess, a little bit of insight into something that he missed the first time, but caught rewatching it. So let's hear what he has to say.
Last week I published a video diving into the final hours of Mica Miller's life. And when I was done, my wife came home from work and she wanted to see it. So we sat down and we watched it together. And while watching it, I noticed something in my own video that I didn't see before. At first I was angry with myself that this piece of evidence has been sitting right there in front of me for weeks. But then I got to work, scanning over dozens of photos, looking at something specific on the day Mica Miller died. When Mica Miller is...
Just out of curiosity, I wonder how involved... This was only posted about a month ago, so he's clearly still covering the case, but I don't know how heavily involved Robbie is with talking to everybody involved in this case still.
Is at Dick's pawn shop purchasing a weapon. There's a truck that arrives. It pulls into the parking lot and then immediately backs out and continues in the direction that it was originally on. Now, when I saw this truck, I immediately pushed it to the side because I knew that was not the truck of John Paul Miller's. Because take a look at the truck from later that day.
Isn't it red?
Captured by traffic cameras. You can see the details. A chrome tailgate. A dark colored bumper. All important to identifying John Paul Miller's vehicle.
I know in the last video we just did a couple of days ago with the neighbor's 911 calls, he was talking about either a black or a blue truck like speeding off, and I wondered if that belonged to J.P. Miller. So we're still talking about a dark colored truck here.
And then I remembered a picture that was sent to me early last week, and it's of John Paul Miller's truck. Take a look.
Okay, we got some music. Hold on. Hold the phone. I have captions on, so take a look. It says, this is from the parking lot of Tom Winslow's office. The attorney for John Paul Miller, and there is John Paul Miller's truck, not with a dark bumper, but with a chrome... Again, this is subtitles, so it might not be exactly what he's saying, but I'm just reading... Again, avoiding music. Labeled August 15th. But with a chrome bumper, just like the surveillance footage of a few days later. Once again with a chrome bumper. And there's an ad. Don't you know that I'm trying to... Then a few days after that, Winslow's office, a few days after that at Winslow's office, JP's truck, goodness, is back to the dark bumper. Oh, and I'm sorry, and that the date changed on that. Hold on, that went a little too fast. August 21st, he's with the chrome bumper again. And then August 26th, a few days later at Winslow's office, there's his truck again. And they're saying... it does not have a chrome bumper. He is just basically going over some evidence of pictures taken from JP's truck, that it's going from that dark bumper color back to a chrome. The license plates are the exact same though. XIM865 here on the dark bumper, and then on the chrome one, it's blurry, but it still says XIM865. Looking at JP Miller's truck, I was stunned at the different combinations that he is creating by covering and uncovering certain parts of his vehicle. He's even changing the colors of his wheels. Another thing that threw me off, that in surveillance footage you can see a chrome running board, but in some photos of JP Miller's truck you can't see it. Okay, we're going to get into a little bit of footage by JLR Investigates now. I have covered his channel as well. Hopefully, no music, please.
Investigates.
Oh, did he get up close and personal with the truck?
A lot of people... Hey, sir. Sir. A lot of people want to know if you murdered your wife.
Oh my gosh.
John Paul Miller.
Okay, wow. JLR got right up close to JP and he still shut the door in his face. Here's another clip from Guru MBTV. Robbie is showing the differences in his truck. There's a witness that places JP Miller in Myrtle Beach, not Charleston, like he first claimed. Oh boy. He's going to play a 911 call. I think we took a listen to this one in my last video, but I just want to make sure.
Not Charleston, like he said he was. Take a listen to this 911 call.
We did see him fly in there and fly out of there because he almost hit us in his blue truck and he took off. That was on Saturday morning.
Oh, it is.
But
Okay.
for me, so I called that neighbor. This is our conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Andy,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Robbie just played a 911 call. I'm not going to play it again because we just listened to it in my last video where we're trying to update ourselves with this case about the blue truck the neighbor saw flying in and out of the property. Robbie Harvey has now spoken to that neighbor.
Andy, you and your wife, on the day Mica died, y'all were headed towards the gym. Did you see John Paul?
Yeah, we come out of our driveway. You go, which is north. He's, I think 4 houses down on the right. As we're going down, I had to stop because he come pulling real fast out of his driveway, almost hit me. Took off towards the stop sign, kind of ran the left stop sign because you had to go left because the main entrance of our neighborhood was blocked because they were putting a pipe down. He went through 2 4-way stops, come to another sign, took it. You come up to Palmore Point Road, he took a quick right up that way, then went up to the main red light and went through it quick. He was going left there also, which that would be going north.
How fast was he going?
Gosh, he's probably, well, the speed limit's only 25, so probably 35 or 40. I mean, he was moving.
He got stopped at the light.
Yeah, he got stopped at the light. That's what stopped him. He almost ran it.
He's not faster than that.
Yeah, he was moving really good.
So JP definitely seemingly seemed in a hurry wherever the heck he was going this day, that the neighbors witnessed his erratic driving.
He was in a hurry. He was going somewhere quick.
And about what time did this happen?
Probably between 9:30 and 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, close to 10. Right in there because, like I say, we usually go to gyms between that time.
And this was on the day Mica died.
Yeah, it was that Saturday. Nah, we didn't know nothing about him and nothing. I know he just come pull down his driveway like an idiot. I said, look at this idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, thank y'all very much. So he was not, according to you, if I put you on the, well, not me, but if they put you on the stand, you're going to say he wasn't in Charleston. He was right there in your neighborhood.
He's in his driveway because he almost hit my new truck.
Oh my gosh. So he wasn't, possibly, allegedly, maybe, wasn't in Charleston the day of Mica's death like he claimed that he was. Oh boy.
Well,
If I probably get her running down the red light, I probably have a word with her. You know what I mean?
so according to this neighbor, between 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning, let's say around 10 a.m., John Paul Miller is speeding out of his neighborhood. And according to multiple witnesses who spoke to Mica hours before her death, Mica, at this time, was getting food from Chick-fil-A. Then at 11 a.m., Mica returns to her apartment.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was updated for me. I wondered, we knew Mica had taken off from her apartment, came back with within an hour or so. So I was like, she can't really do much within an hour. She's gonna come back. So she went to Chick-fil-A. But now JP was seen in her neighborhood. I believe Mica was scheduled to work at noon. She had left her apartment that morning shortly beforehand with almost just enough time to get to work. Between 9:30 and 10:30. I think
She gets ready for work and heads out at 11:38 a.m.
right.
Just over 30 minutes later, at 12:12 p.m., Mica Miller arrives at Dick's pawn shop.
Oh my gosh. And I assumed this before, that she was just scared. She had had enough of being stalked and harassed by JP. We've listened to 911 phone calls of him even saying himself that he was in the neighborhood with Mica and her sister at the time. So her going right to Dick's pawn shop makes sense. I wonder, did anybody ever talk to the coworkers? Did she ever make a phone call that day and say, hey, I'm going to be in a little bit late, or give anybody a heads up whatsoever? Or is that still how do we not know that information now? How are we not, or if they are, who's talking to the people that were supposed to work with Mica? Was any communication made with any of her coworkers or boss? Okay, so that explains a little bit. Wow, that's some information right there. Wow. He talks a little bit about the chrome and how you are able to change that on your vehicles. Oh my gosh, so the surveillance at the pawn shop is showing a black truck that seemingly came in and then went out the same direction. So I'm wondering, maybe Mica didn't even see him in her neighborhood that morning. Possibly just the neighbors witnessed it. You know what though? I don't think she saw the truck. I think she was still inside the building when the surveillance was taken. I'm not entirely sure. Robbie claims he reached out to multiple witnesses because he wanted to hear once again from them if Mica feared for her life, and they all answered yes, allegedly. And a few of them went so far as to say that Mica believed herself that she would be murdered.
This before, but I wanted to get you on the phone and be very clear about the conversation you had with John Paul just hours after Mica's death. The next day, on that Sunday, April 28th, he called you and he said something really interesting that makes you believe he was tracking Mica the day she died.
Yes, he said, I have some more details for you if you want them. And he said she was supposed to go to work, but instead she went and bought a gun and then drove up to Lumberton. I thought she was on her way to see you. And he paused there, and I just said, no. And then he proceeded to ask me 2 additional times if...
So he asked Charlotte why she's heading up there, and that's why they're assuming he was tracking her that day. So maybe she was just so terrified.
If that were the case, if she was headed up to see me. And I just said no.
And the reason why that's key is because you live in Virginia. So her driving north would make him think that she is coming to see you.
Correct.
You also had a conversation with Mica not long ago about her fearing for her life. What was said in that conversation?
I did. It was when she first told me that she'd finally made up her mind to leave him. And at that time, I felt like I could finally tell her my true feelings about their relationship and my concerns and fears. And I said, you know that I tell my sisters everything. well, I've told them all about your relationship and what I've witnessed, and we've all said that she needs to leave him. Otherwise,
I think most of us will confide in close loved ones, family members, friends about relationships, or and just get advice from people. So I believe that I personally believe that Mica was very open about Charlotte and her relationship with JP and her fears, and was just very open and vulnerable with Charlotte. I don't see any real reason why she would hide or exaggerate any of that to her.
he's going to kill her. And she said,
And not for nothing, I'm sorry, but like, you don't just say, like, you don't just assume somebody is gonna kill you unless they portray like a certain level of instability. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't just assume everyone would just kill me because either we broke up or we got into a confrontation or whatever. And the fact that she is saying, or possibly allegedly said those words, he is going to kill me, I think she knew something was up.
yeah, I can't say I haven't thought that too.
So you're telling me that Mica thought at one point that John Paul Miller might kill her?
I mean, the thought had crossed her mind. That's what she communicated to me.
Do you believe Mica took her own life?
According to an affidavit filed by Sierra Francis as well, it says, Mica, on line 14, Mica stated to me on many occasions, quote, if I end up with a bullet in my head, it was not by me, it was JP. We've read that quote before. I'm sorry, but I don't think anybody's just gonna say that. The department says JP was nowhere near Mica that day, and they spoke with a witness, but Robbie believes that the witness is not... Robbie believes that the witness that the police department spoke with was Susie Skinner, who I have reasons to believe would lie for JP. This was a Facebook post as well. The investigation also revealed that Miller and her estranged husband, J.P. Miller, had been separated and were involved in the legal system. This information led to the investigators confirming the whereabouts of Miller and a female that he is allegedly romantically involved with. Investigators were able to confirm that both individuals were not in North Carolina on the night before and the day after Miller's death. So that female that the department spoke with could be Susie. And again, I have no reason to believe that Susie should be believed. Susie should be held responsible of basically tampering with evidence or giving false information to police if they were to be found to be in Myrtle Beach and not Charleston that day. My opinion, absolutely. You're an accessory to a crime.
That
Did anybody see him?
morning, specifically.
Besides the neighbors who called in saying he was driving like a lunatic?
Nobody has come forward.
Out of hundreds?
And let me be clear, I encourage anyone who saw John Paul in Charleston that morning to come forward.
That's wild. That's such a weird, like, that would just be like, did you see this person at the game? And they'd be like, oh yeah, I did, or oh no, I didn't. And not a single person has come forward saying they saw him. Oh my gosh, this case is so spicy. We're going to continue covering it because I'm telling you, her death was not all for nothing. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoy getting updated with me about this case as well. I'm going to continue to react. I want to look at JLR's a confrontation with JP. I want to continue to look at some of the other videos we saw about Mica's doctor. So we have a lot to catch up on. If you guys don't want to miss any new videos, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.